coin till I get my money right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have useless coin up on the screen. I don't own this. It was a request from the Quantum Circle, so figured I would blast it out for all of you on X and YouTube. So here's the thing, guys. Personally, I don't invest in this kind of stuff. New coins, not interested. For me, this came out in May of this year. So with that being said, from a TA perspective, we have to take it all with a grain of salt. There's not a ton of data. That's what technical analysis is it's using past data to predict future price movement. Well, we don't have a ton of data here. Looking at it from a market cap perspective too, about 175 million. So a pretty small coin relatively, especially when you're looking at, for example, Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin in the trillions now? Yeah, I think Bitcoin's in the trillions. So not even close. So let's go ahead. We're zoomed out here. This is the 1 day. We're going to take a look at the price chart. I'm going to give you guys a couple targets. But there is, with, again, the newer stuff, smaller cap stuff, there is a chance those targets get exceeded, right? Or they're riskier and they don't go anywhere. But let's go ahead and take a look. So right now, for useless, I'm looking this inception candle here. 1, 2, 3. Right now, working on a 4. And waiting on a 5. So you guys see this inception candle was nutty. This is a 1 day. That thing went up. It doesn't even tell me the percentage it went up in a day. Because that was the first day. So, all right. But if I pull this down a little bit more, you can start to see the waves a little bit better. If I go to the weekly here, that's really when you can kind of see it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Waiting on a macro 5. And what it does look like is happening here on the shorter time frame for wave 4. I know I'm doing a lot of back and forth. Just wanted to show you. It sure looks like we had an A, B, C that take us down to the bottom of that fourth. And we're kind of sitting down there right now, right? This fourth wave may not be completely over yet. It's going to have to depend on the rest of the market. That A wave, 57%. Yep. So, the C wave is longer than the A wave. So that parameter fits. But what we want to look at now is we know that across the board in markets, we have waves 3, 4, and 5. So here, since this is still setting new lows, what we're most likely looking for would be like an A, B, C into new highs here for useless. So what we want to find in this video, where is A, where is B, where is C, and how does that finish off the macro fifth here for useless. But guys, before I do that, join the Quantum Circle, entries, exit strategy, emotional and mental clarity, 2 daily macro videos, a whole lot more. Link to that in my bio. That's where the real alpha is. All right, back to this. First thing I want to do is I want to look at fibs from the wave 1 to wave 2 pull down. As you can see, guys, and this is one of the things with these newer coins, it exceeded that by quite a bit, the 4236 there. All right. If I pull it up, you can do this with pulling the 236 to the top of the range. You can see, bam, we smacked that 2618 up there at 40 cents. So you can see there's a reaction level there. We also know that up here around 64 cents, that would be closing out this range. So what I'm going to do is we'll mark this for the time being just to see if that comes back into play at a later point. Let's make it skinnier. All right. So what we're really interested in now, though, is now that we see we pretty much closed that range out on a normal fib, we want to pull this down right nya to right nya. And we're looking, wow, that was amazing. That C wave was perfect. I'm looking at 127. All right, that's going to be my, my conservative target here for useless is right there at 127. That's a full extension of the current range. Again, you saw how in the past it exceeded that, right? So one other way we want to measure this, and it is because we're going to be in a blow-off environment. This thing hasn't been around for an alt season yet. Obviously, it just came out in May. But there's one other way to measure this, and that way is by what we just did back there, pulling that up. My blow-off target is going to be just shy of $5 up here. $4.92 it looks like. It's not letting me do it too good. $4.92 up there. All right, that is in a blow-off scenario. Last time on that wave 3, we saw it get up here, which would have been like 310. So any of these numbers on the side, guys, these are going to be targets. We just got to see how much gas we get on this first leg here, right? If this first leg's getting us up out, to this area, well then, yeah, it's looking a lot more likely that we're going to be able to hit that. So what we want to do now is figure out where is a logical spot for this chart. And I want to go back just to our basic fib count because this is the, more oftentimes than not, this is our safest play here. You're going to look to exceed this former high and that last local high, right? A lot of people are going to see it break. Retail's going to get in. It's going to dump them back down to these levels. Retail's going to sell. It's going to go on without them. And again, this coincides with waves 3, 4, and 5 in the altcoin market. So we want to see this thing pop back up to the 1618, come down and test these lows. Typically, we're looking at a 35 to 50% drawdown in this wave. With this thing being a smaller market cap, I'm going to lean closer in the mid 40s. So if I do that, you can see that we come back down here at the 618 right around like 32 cents. So I could see that run up to 58, drop down to 32, and one more blow off right here up to $1.27. And so again, we want to make sure that in this scenario, the C wave would be at least the length of the A wave being 281%, C wave being 300%. So very close in the length. And I mean, that makes complete sense for me, guys, if we're talking about this 127 level, right? We will talk, or we do have that secondary target up there. Why'd it go away? At like $1.92. I will include that in the in the tweet. But what we're going to be looking for is 58 cents back down to 32 and then a run up to 127. That's the base. How far is that from the current price level? You got about a 7.3x from the current price level. All right. And then if this thing does decide to go that full extension, you're looking closer to an 11x. And there are quite a few coins that we have charted up here at this 11x level. Like, this is pretty in line with the market. So we're still setting new lows, though. It did have kind of its own run up. It's a little bit on its own schedule here. So let's see what we get here on this first wave up. Again, looking conservatively at $1.27 and that primary up there at $1.91. Wait, did I messed that up? That's not the secondary. Secondary is up here. We were talking about that as a safer target. Secondary is up here. There we go. That's a 27x. So that is way juicier. Please excuse me on that move there. I should have left these things drawn out. Way juicier. So from the current price level, yeah, that's a 28x. So, but keep these in mind. I mean, just shy of $2, nice round psychological number. Right at $3, nice round psychological number. Just shy of $5, right? You're gonna have retail calling for those nice round numbers. It could fall just short. So that's what I got for you on Useless, my friends. Like I mentioned, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos a day, a Discord channel, and I teach you how to do TA just like me. Link to that in the bio. If not, just super appreciative you guys are here. If you could follow, like, repost, I want to get this out to as many people as I can before it's too late. Hope you guys have an awesome Friday and an even better weekend.